Woo! Heck yeah.
All right, episode 7 on 7/7.
This
It's
is
July
crazy.
7th, so 7/7/7.
Yeah, dude.
7725.
Is your hair naturally that blonde?
I mean, this is like
dumb question, because I know you're not getting it done, but you have really pretty blonde hair.
Oh my god, thank you.
I know, I don't even know if what we see here is real or fake.
Which is crazy. This is what it looked like when I was little, but
yeah, I haven't gotten it done in I don't even know how long, years.
But
you don't need to. It's beautiful. Hello, Rossi.
I'm just making a little ice pack for the phone.
So
it is heating up to 1,000
I
degrees.
had this really good idea when I was on Alex's last live. I don't know if you're game for it. But your guys' channeled message deck, I thought we could use it and pull collectively and then maybe discuss off of what comes out of that fucking deck.
Yeah, which one? The one that he uses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
I don't know if you want. I thought about that.
No, I like that.
Last time when Alex did a reading for me, I was like, oh,
okay.
I have a really good idea.
We should, because it's cool when we make those cards. It's like when stuff, you know what I mean? Like obviously like they're channeled messages or stuff. Sometimes I'll like sit on it, like all week something will come to me. And I'm like, I know I either need to make a video about it or a card. So I'll just do both most of the times. But yeah, that is a good idea.
But we could wait to do that too till next week if you want with Alex. Here.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't care. It was just an idea. So,
Yeah.
All right. So, patterns. I feel so weird today. Sorry.
I know. No, me too. I know. It's like weird once you've already, because we've been doing it in the morning. So then, like, after having a whole day, it's like, okay, having to like regroup, like,
Lots of meditation time today.
You did?
Just you. Walking, going to the gym.
Right. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. So if we were to start with patterns, right? For people that are watching this that are targeted, and it's like, and people could even put it in the comments if people are watching this. It says that there's 23 people in here. If people do resonate with being targeted for finances, for whatever, what was one of the first things that you noticed that indicated like you're being followed? What you're feeling is actually happening in the 3D. And
what was yours?
I think I actually mentioned it on an episode
when you were jogging, huh?
Yeah, and people were flipping me off. But also like seeing those cars, like the way that they would like pull up on me and at the time it was like I had no idea why that was happening. I kind of just correlated everything with my ex because I'm like, okay, like there's a lot of stuff happening that I don't know why it's happening, whether it be people coming up to me in public and saying things, like weird things that made me obviously indicated to me that I'm, online not as me. Somebody's clearly catfishing me because people are coming up to me and they're acting either as if I knew them, made plans with them, like things like that were happening. So I'm like, okay.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh, that's intense.
Yeah, like when I worked at it's always Wooden Tap in Enfield, but somebody came up to me, and Enfield is like sneezing on Massachusetts, right? So you're right by Springfield. And this guy was saying something, just kept asking me about this bar in Springfield, but it was like what he was saying sounded like code words. Like he was asking me something in code. And in my head, I'm joking around. I'm like, okay, somebody's catfishing, because like I already had that suspicion, catfishing me as this prostitute. This man's coming up to me, and this was post the Springfield cop that disguised himself that had asked me to have sex in the bathroom for money. Like that later found out that was a legit cop, I guess. But this guy that came into my job and he's asking me something, and I'm like, oh, the only bar I went to was this one. And it's just like, I just hate, I don't know, when people are trying.
Right. You're like freezing on me really bad. You're better. Okay, your face is frozen, but I can hear you. It's better. Okay. You're fine.
What was like something somebody said to you in public, like one of the first times, but you weren't thinking of the targeting thing in your response. But like looking back, if you could look back on something like anything that anybody said to you in public that was like bizarre right around
I
that
can't
time.
even think of anything. Everybody, when I, everybody was so fucking cold to me. It's like overnight, like I was fine. And then overnight, everybody was just different. Cold, wouldn't look at me, wouldn't talk to me. I could tell I was being talked about. Um,
Yeah.
like when my shit first got real intense, it was at home. That's when shit just went wild, was at home.
Yeah. And that's what sucks too, is because it's like that's your home. So when things are like unfolding, you know what I mean? Like they're unfolding in front of your third eye. And it's like you can't even,
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
mean,
what do
I
I
knew
even?
something was wrong because the way that my kid's dad was being, like, he was just gone. Like he was there,
Yeah.
but not that he was not himself at all. He just was gone. He was fucking
Yep.
gone. And then that broke me down. And then I was getting all fucked up, you know? Um, but I noticed like right away, all my friends, everybody that I was hanging out with, everybody was filming me. Everybody
Yeah.
was recording just right away. People were always hitting me up to get them like dope and shit, but I'm no
Yeah.
dealer, never was. And I always could tell, like, okay, what are you coming to me for when you know who to go to type of thing? You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't even know, dude.
It's like they were creating like phone receipts to go
Yeah,
with false narratives.
yeah, trying to make me look like I'm some crazy dealer or
Some
something. I mean, I don't know. But I
some
knew I was
duh.
being set up just over and over and over again. And when shit started for me, it escalated quick.
Yeah.
It escalated really quick. I guess to answer your question, one of the first things that I noticed that before I even really noticed like what the fuck was going on, dude, I was hanging out with my ex boyfriend. Stupid, but I was hurt and trying
Yeah.
to not face what was going on at home. So I like reconnected with him. And out of fucking nowhere, this guy leaves. He moves away. Just tells me one night he's moving, he's going to Texas. Like, fuck you, bye, I'm out of here. Tells me what an evil piece of shit I was. And I swear and swore in that moment that they were paying him or paying for him to leave.
Yeah.
I didn't I just thought like my in-laws, right? I didn't think no cult or nothing like that, but it's like my in-laws. They're the ones that are paying for him to leave. You know, I just
Right.
felt it, dude. I don't know. I don't have an exact answer on that. I don't remember anything really in public going on.
Yeah. What
Nobody
shit else?
talked to me. Nobody would fucking talk to me.
True,
Not
yeah.
to me. Nobody would talk to me.
Or you'd get a lot of like
Yes.
the bug eyes. You're like,
Instantly, like, look away, don't talk to her. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Every time I'd go to work, yeah, shit like that.
and it's kind of funny with that because it's like when people don't want to, it's like, good. Don't even fucking look at me. You want to believe that? Keep walking. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I hate
Yeah.
you.
They
But
had
like,
me so fucked up and scared that they were gonna kill me, dude. Like they had me convinced that the cartel was gonna kidnap me and traffic me. That's what
Yeah.
they gaslit me into believing. And like right away, they had this Mexican kid sitting outside of my house in this like white Ford, like a Ford Explorer, I think. And it was an older one. He was outside of my house all the time. Never saw him in my neighborhood before, ever. I'd
Oh,
leave,
you
he'd
said that.
leave. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
The girl that my kid's dad was like fucking cheating on me with is Hispanic. And where am I going with this? I come from a very Hispanic community, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
it's
same.
not uncommon. And for like the cartel to be there, and then they were paying Mexican guys to look for me in my job, come into my
I do
workplace and
remember.
be asking for me and shit, right? And then they have
Right.
like all these sex holograms all over my house. And I'm thinking my kid's dad got involved in some demonic fucking shit with this girl, right? He's in some sex ring or something. He probably sold
Yeah.
his soul because he's gone, you know? So I
Yeah.
was just like in a lot of fucking fear, dude. And it just, once it started, it escalated so quick and it did not stop. Just got worse and worse and worse and more intense and more intense and more intense. And once the first person betrayed me, everybody was betraying me. So I didn't really get mocked or no crazy shit like that in public. It was more like I was being filmed and then being gaslit that they weren't filming me so they could get the reaction out of me. Shit like that.
Um, Dude, that would happen a lot at jobs, and it was like I didn't notice it until I literally started looking right at their like, when I noticed, because it's like we clipped that video of us talking about it, right? How you like, the way that you held your phone, but it's like, once I started looking directly at the camera lens on their phone was when it and then saw the look on their face that they were gonna shit themselves, I'm like, "I think I'm being videotaped." And the way people like, they'll purposely perceive it as if you're like some like paranoid skits. Oh, she
Hmm.
thinks everybody's filming her. It's like, no, I waited again till I looked directly at your camera lens and you look like you need to change your underwear in public. So what's going on? And it's like, that's like what kills me too, is like people purposely pick apart and gaslight. It's the way that they have no problem. For me, this is my own dad, this is my own family members, people that were friends, sent in friends, they have no problem gaslighting you and making you feel stupid and, like, almost getting you to laugh at yourself by with, just it thinking that they're innocently like, gaslighting the fuck out of you, dude.
Dude, I got a story.
Okay, good.
Okay. So my childhood best friend, I moved to Idaho from Montana in 6th grade. And I met this girl in 7th grade at school. And we were just best friends from that point forward. Obviously, life kind of pulled us different directions, but our friendship was always there. Okay. So, like during 2022, when everything was going on, I was knees deep and waist deep in shit. But last I knew, she was in prison. Okay. I talked to her maybe 6 months earlier on the prison app, whatever. I thought she was getting out in October. I think it was July or August at this point. But long story short, I'm standing in my garage, fucking being fucked with, hearing all this moaning, trying to fucking find where it's coming from, right? And I see my friend that I think is in prison standing in my backyard with a Mexican guy in a black ski mask. Okay. And I'm looking at her like, come in here. What are you doing? You know, like, come in here. What the fuck are you doing out there? You know, anyways, I thought she was in jail, had no idea she got out. So she never came in. I went inside, like, fucking talking to them through whatever they're listening to, like, you bunch of fucking weirdos. What the fuck are you guys fucking doing? You know, whatever. She calls my phone. She calls me and tells me she asked me to get her some dope, whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah, just come over here. I got whatever. So she's like, okay, well, I'm coming from Pocatello, which is an hour and some minutes away. I'll be there.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, she shows up at my house. But she was an
Hmm.
hour and something away. So I
Right.
start calling her out. What the fuck were you doing in my backyard in a ski mask? And she's got her phone up.
Ugh.
And, I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck were you doing out there? I wasn't out there. I'm like, getting pissed. What the fuck,
yeah,
dude? Just the
that's
most
like
obvious shit. It obvious.
that's wild.
And
That's like creating a stage literally just to point a finger at you and you say that you're a schizophrenic.
yeah,
Like, that's
the
insane.
fuck. And I swear to God, she had my kid's dad's phone, dude. Unless she has the same exact one, but the same case, everything. And I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, I'm not recording you, doggy. I'm just here to get loaded. And it's like, the fuck are they doing with all this footage of me? What are they doing with it?
Yeah, it's basically like them just whatever however they're gonna manipulate it, you know what I'm saying?
Shitload of it. A
Yeah,
whole year of every day, all day, fucking people fucking recording me, just proving that they're stalking the fuck out of me. But like when I look at that, her and my ex-boyfriend I was telling you about, I swear to God, they were recruited while they were locked up. I swear. Swear. How did she get out early, dude?
gonna expose how long really happening to people, right? Like our DNA, this and that, the government knowing who we are before we got here to the point where, yeah, people will have like their court dates, their sentencing, like this stuff will literally help with that. And it's like, well, why is that? Why are we all on a terrorist watch list to get other people who have committed crimes out early to terrorize innocent people?
Yeah.
And it's money. It's all money. Money that people have coming to them that they don't know, property, land, our lineage, literally all I believe that's literally what all of this is. And it's like your especially like your ex's parents too. It's like finding out who you were or thinking that they could just people literally thinking that they could just traffic all of us.
Yeah. They had me fooled. They had me so fooled. They had me fooled. But when everything was going on, I knew it was them right away. Because when everything started falling apart at home, they cut me off. They just quit talking to me, quit everything, started telling my kids I was losing my mind. Like, what the fuck? I didn't do anything. My mother-in-law assaulted me, fucking headbutted me in the face and shit because her child was like abandoning his kids and I said he was a coward. And she assaulted me. And I remember, dude, I was spitting blood out of my mouth. Like, you're hitting the wrong person. Like, so confused, dude. It was so confusing. But yeah, I knew it was them. I didn't know how. I didn't know that how they were paying all these people off, how they were investing in all this technology, but I knew it was them without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy to think if people are approaching them. You know what I mean? Like, if they're just the original like, just thinking back to my own family, like my dad and stepmom doing shit that, like it's just wild, like, doing shit that I think there's a good amount of people that know, and there's people that think that I really am fucking crazy. Like, there's people that obviously know what they do. I'm sure your children's father's parents are involved in the same kind of things, right?
Hmm.
And it's like they're approached. And that's why I always thought, I'm like, "What
It's a good possibility. I've heard of that, Ashley. In Chosen Ones, I have heard of that. So it's a good possibility.
I'm like, something's wrong here. I don't know. Whatever. I digress. But what I'm saying is your in-laws, my family, it's like they're I don't know. This is something that I keep debating with myself. Like, were they approached? It's like the real details, which I know that we'll find
Right.
out.
Like,
You
were
know,
they recruited in or did they decide to offer us up? Is that what you're saying? Like, were they
yeah,
approached by somebody else or were
yeah. I'm
they the
so sorry.
ones
That must have,
that did it? Is that
yeah.
what you're? I wonder that all the time. I think they were approached,
Okay.
but
By like,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I
I don't know.
I've battled this myself heavily, trying to figure it the fuck out. I know they've been trying to get rid of me from the beginning. Looking back
Yeah,
and reflecting now, I see so much. They've been attacking me with witchcraft from day one, all the things. So,
yeah.
but it's a good possibility that we've always had handlers our whole life. And it wasn't
Mm.
until it's like we reached a certain level or a certain frequency where they're like, we got to get rid of them now. You know what I mean? They got to go. We got to get them gone now.
Taking over these higher up people,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, yeah, because it's like you yourself going to the grocery store, you could change the mood of so many people. And I get people just hearing me say that, people could very well be like, okay, conceded. Do you hear what the fuck they're talking about? These people are crazy. But it's like, no, this is like scientifically proven. This is literally like, I don't even know where I'm going with that. I'm so sorry to be such like
I
a little
worked in a
rambling.
grocery store, so it's kind of a synchronicity.
Okay.
But yeah, like when everything started going haywire for me, I was doing the best I'd ever done in my life. I
That's
was
what,
fucking
yep.
thriving, dude.
Yeah.
Thriving, clean, sober, got through 2.5 years of probation, had a amazing job, held it down, a beautiful home. My kids knew stability for the first time in their entire we were doing so fucking good.
Yeah.
The best we'd ever done, and it felt like we fucking made it. And they came in and fucking tore it up. Everything torn to shreds.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of our nice belongings,
That's how that,
everything we worked so fucking hard, all of it just ruined.
yeah. Literally, that's so relatable because that's how I felt when I finally got to move out of my sister's place. Like just that whole setup of like, you know what I mean? Like I've explained it before, just how like, living my sister invited me to move in with her. And then you said something in the beginning of the episode that made me think of this. But what I thought was weird, you said when things got awkward in the home real quick, and then it's the people around you that just stop talking to you. It was like a lot of false narratives did come from my twin, and I didn't wanna admit that, and I didn't wanna say that, and I just grew up always thinking like, my twin was always my favorite person. I would have protected her over anybody, I would have jumped in front of a moving car, and everybody knew this stuff about me, and they took advantage of that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And, like,
Yes, I
my
do.
sister like, for me, when I first started spiritually waking up, I realized that it was beneficial, like, I wasn't fully educated on fasting, but I started like I would basically wake up, exercise, get ready for work, and drink a protein shake. So I wouldn't actually start like, wouldn't eat anything for the day around like noon or 1 till I'm getting ready for work, which like that's fasting, that's beneficial. And like my sister literally told people that she thought I had an eating disorder. Like this is where people they try to get a one up on you by acting like they care, and it's like, for the longest time, like, I just have to call out my sister for acting like she cared, but in reality, it was her weird way of sabotaging me.
My mother-in-law
She's
too.
going to people they're gonna go to people, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm really concerned. Like, this is what I'm seeing from Ashley, like, whatever. And it's like, actually, like, I wasn't in a place to have a leg up to stand on for people to listen to me. You know what I mean? Like, like, freshly having a DUI, all of that. But, like,
That's where I was
basically,
at too, fresh with a DUI
yes.
pattern.
And it's just like, my sister saw that I was literally running 10 plus miles a day. Like, I would literally, like, go for, like, a walk, run, like, do, like, 3 miles, come back, drink water, pre-workout, like, just keep doing that all day until I finally found a job, and then I was running before work, and it just blew my mind the way that friends were approaching me, like, letting me know low key, "Hey, Emily's really worried, like, what's going on? Like, are you okay, like, weight-wise?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, I'm literally in my mind, I'm doing the best I've ever done. And then that just continued happening. When I was finally in a position where I had my car back, I was going to the gym at like 3:30 AM, 4 AM, and then I had another friend, I think we actually talked about this, say, "Hey, like, her stepmom my stepmom reached out and they were concerned." And it's like, "No, like, it's like the people that are supposed to love you will wait till you're in the best position of your life and you're really changing things for the better." And that's kind of like your indicator that you're being sabotaged when people randomly, like, that's your indicator that somebody else is talking bad about you, obviously. And for my sister, like, she just dealt with weight problems her whole life, um, because when she was in the womb, like, her umbilical cord got unattached early, right? So she was always very thin her whole life, and I was always chubby, and it's, like, funny, like, just thinking back, learning about parasites, like, that's also what that is anyways. But yeah, I'm so sorry, I just started babbling, but I that just literally killed me that, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's telling people that I have an eating disorder and this and that, and it's like, I'm literally tapping in because that's what I also was coming to the realization of, like, when you fast, you're closer to source. So I'm getting, like, downloads, channeled messages. At the time, I didn't know how to express this to people, and my sister, when we would go for walks or literally ground her feet, like, I would tell her to take her socks and shoes off and put our feet, like, on the grass. And it's just crazy when you think you're helping somebody, connecting with somebody, sharing your inner wisdom, and it's like, they're just fucking sabotaging you the whole time, dude.
Yeah.
Like, literally everybody in my life ghosted me after that. Like, it's just like, whatever, man. I don't know.
Yep. I relate to that.
Ugh,
The worst betrayal that I experienced was my mother-in-law. I was shocked. Just shocked. I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming. We were so close. I literally told her everything. Everything. And it was all
yeah.
fake, dude. It was all fucking fake.
It's just wild, dude, that you're when you talk about your mother-in-law, it's giving, like, my stepmom vibes. So, like, just like that fake, like, I totally get it, and it's like, it sucks when people make, you know what I mean? They know the things that you went through, so they come into your life presenting themselves to be somebody that's gonna be beneficial to your soul, and then they literally have their own agenda and their own intentions for you that they're gonna keep hidden, and they're just gonna covertly move you
And
out of
that's
the
the
way.
thing. It's always been in front of us. We just didn't want to see it.
Yeah,
Didn't want to see it. It's always been there.
right.
And it's we just see the best in people. Didn't want to see it, didn't want to believe it. There's no way, no, we're tripping,
Yeah,
the intuitive hits have always been there, and that's why, like, God let them fuck us up the way God let them fuck us up. Do you see it now?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, do you see it? Like, when everything was being filmed of me, I thought they were gonna take my kids from me, right? Oh, they're gonna use all this shit and take me to court and take my kids. That's what they're doing, I thought.
yeah,
But it's like they've done it to me in the past. They've done shit to me in the past that made me think that. Because
yeah,
that's who they are. They've
right,
always been that way. I just didn't ever want to see it because
right,
I was trauma bonded, period, with those people.
dude.
They knew what they were doing. They're just
Exac
master
That's what
freaking.
it is. It really, you got, like, we have to literally, I feel like Alex says this all the time, like, we have to stop making things so complicated when it's like, we know what it is. We know what it is. And that just applies to so many things, especially in this program. And dude, I just thought of this. I don't know if this is going to be significant or make a story pop off, but somebody that you're friends with on Facebook added me on Facebook, and she said they set her car on fire. Whoever's involved in her targeting set her car on fire.
Danny,
Yeah, she sent me pictures. I was like, oh my God.
did you see the freaking demon faces in that fire? Because that's the first thing I noticed.
Oh, I didn't actually get to click on him. I saw him like in the messages, and I like immediately like responded, and I still have to respond back to her, but I was like, wow.
You can see the faces everywhere in that fire, demonic faces everywhere.
Ugh.
It's a trip. Yeah.
Ugh.
And I can see shit like that now. Right away. Boom. Like even
Yeah.
when I look back on old pictures on my old Facebook, like there's one of me and my son in the car. We're in the parking lot of the grocery store I used to work at, and there's demon faces on the windows. My face is all broke out from all those beauty spells they were doing or whatever. And it's like
Yeah.
back then I never noticed that, but right away, instantly, that's the first thing I noticed in pictures.
And that
Just
like,
spiritual
yeah,
shit like that, and it's so clear and evident.
dude. And it's wild because it's like if we could see, it's like almost like a black light. Picture like a black light for the 5D. So you could see actually like how many spirits and you know what I mean? Like are
Mhm.
actually around you.
It's crazy, yeah. And so shit's been, it's like we've always been targeted to a certain extent too. I don't know if you can relate to this, but every group of friends that I've ever had ended up all turning on me and abandoning me and leaving me completely isolated since I
Yeah.
was 18 years old. Even in high school, when I got pregnant, all my friends just
Yeah.
left me. Every
Oh
fucking one of them, and
wow.
I was all alone. And then, like, after high school, everybody that I got close to just fucking turned on me, dude. I'm all alone over and over. It's like a cycle of shit. And I
Yeah.
think that it just grew and intensified and grew and intensified over time to
Dude.
what it turned into. Because we probably should have taken ourselves out more than once based on things that we have been through in life.
Well, and stuff that they intentionally put in place, absolutely.
It was probably the majority of our trauma
Right.
was probably set up, organized, arranged.
Oh, 100%. Dude, all the spells that they did on my mom to make her this like hammer just beat the shit out of us every night. And then I can't even like speak my truth about that because I'm going to hurt my own mother's feelings because she doesn't remember any of that. But then waking up and seeing what my dad and his friends and whatever, what they do to all these people with their fucking, it's all bullshit, dude. All this animal sacrificing, whatever the fuck. Like, yeah. So I
You
feel
know,
that.
I feel that so intensely when it comes to like my story and like having to open up about this shit with my kid's dad because it was all spell work, all of it.
Right.
And it's like, I do not want to hurt him or embarrass him or any of that. But I've had to, I can speak my truth and it's not my responsibility to carry it if he can't. You know what I mean?
You were saying that at 3333. Yeah. It's that's what it is because it's his own story to come out with his own mistakes. Like he very much still has the opportunity to be in a position like you
Hmm.
because you have also made mistakes
Oh,
and
many.
you've owned it and you've told everybody about it. And that's how I feel about my mom too. Like there were times where she tried to give me shit about it, and I that's all I responded with was, "I have the right to share what the fuck happened to me." Bottom line. And it's like, if what you did like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not it's almost like a insult for us too, because it's like, you're not really thinking of how I felt in the situation that you put me in.
Right. The accountability.
Right. And I just don't think any of that is embarrassing for them because it's like people like there's people that know what they're doing in the sense that they're summoning demons, entities, all these things with hidden agendas. Like people, it took me 33 years to learn that people literally leave out gifts for demonic entities to do, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I don't People are really doing this. And they're doing it to affect people like your children's father, like my mother. They're basically, these people are being used to be the villain in somebody else's story, to cause trauma in somebody else's story so other people can benefit from it. And it's like I
It's
just don't think anybody where I'm from has a right to say anything about my mom, because it's like everybody, you just hidden who you, the fucked up parts of yourself. It's like David Goggins says, you've hidden those parts better than she has. She doesn't desire to wish anybody harm and practice fucking bullshit, whatever. But that's what you're doing. What? And you think just because you and your church friends can have a couple glasses of wine and just like look decent in public, like it's just wild to me. Like people, these people that just need a fucking reality check, like these warlocks and witches, Eastern stars, like you guys will always be about your image. It's the saddest shit ever. And it's just
sadly
like,
it's coming down.
but it's all the work that everybody's done over like centuries that has put, it's like it's placed everybody in like this consciousness roller coaster, and all their effort just started the roller coaster, and now we're all just fucking okay, well this is, well, like we're all pinging off of each other.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
It's heartless.
It's, yeah,
You know,
I
I
know I
look
should.
at it like my child, and I could never intentionally harm my child for my own benefit. I would never
Right.
intentionally want to take his happiness away because I envy it. Ever.
Right.
And there are parents out there that do this shit to people.
I've witnessed my stepmom mask my personality. I'm like, bitch, you're fucking tripping, dude. And then you're gonna go around to my friends and tell them that I'm mentally ill, this and that. I'm like, you must be like, okay, but like, you just have to let people do what you're gonna do, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever. And that's like the funniest part is like we don't mind being the villain, being the schizo in anybody's story. I will happily live the rest of my life, okay, knowing that everybody where I'm from thinks I'm fucking crazy. I love that. Never talk to me again. Thank you so much. Like literally, people have to start looking at the reality of the situation. Who gives a fuck about your reputation? Like people, you don't actually like who's from your hometown. You just don't want people to like think or talk badly about you. Newsflash, people cannot like you when you have things to do. You know, when you have a bigger purpose, when you have, it's like people cannot like you. Sorry.
Confirmation burp. Where'd that
Yeah,
come from? You're not going to
it's
be liked. Like when you love God, people will hate you. When
dude.
you carry the spirit of God within you, people are going to hate you. Look at the story of Jesus. For
Yeah.
Christ's fucking sake. Look what he went through.
Or dude, oops, or the person that was on your freaking live the other night that was wild. That was like, you're never, dude, you just made a fake profile to hop online and tell you that. Like, that's what's boosting them up. And
You know
people,
what's
again,
crazy? That came to me in a different, that same shit. You're never going to be anything on YouTube. It was on one of our first videos that we ever did. When all that YouTube drama was
oh,
going on, I got that same hate comment from a different profile.
yeah.
You know,
So they're
so it's
just
the
gonna
same
keep,
person.
yeah, yeah, like
Anyways,
that, like,
though,
but that's them thinking that they're gonna like spell cast that into your subconscious. Like, oh, you're never gonna be shit, bitch. You're never gonna be shit on YouTube. You're never gonna be shit on real life. And I'm like declaring it in front of the whole world that Taylor, you will be bigger than Eric Thomas. I love him so much. Like we, you know what I mean? Like we, it's like no,
but you know
and
what's
thank,
crazy? I'm not even here for that. So it
no,
doesn't even
yeah,
hurt my feelings, dude. I am literally just here to be like an access point for the truth for anybody that's looking for it that needs it to find them one day. That's all
right,
I care about. I don't care about the number. I don't care about monetizing. I'm not here for show.
Yeah.
And
No, that's a
that's
good
the
point.
craziest part. And when you're not looking for it, it's when you get it. I never thought I'd
Yeah.
become who I've become today or have the following or the support or the friendships ever. I just wanted to find one person, dude.
Yeah, that's
One
crazy.
person. I didn't know that I was going to build this massive collective of so many people in the same timeline of fucking hell ever.
Yeah.
I didn't. When you're going through that shit, you think you're the only one because it's so bizarre, it's so absurd, it's so crazy. There ain't no fucking way. It feels like you're living a scary movie,
Right.
you know? So,
That's that is a
anyways,
good point. Like when I got that feeling, that was like that just triggered an embarrassing memory for me, like when I attempted to call my dad when I was going for a run. So mind you, like I was living in Enfield witnessing people. This was after legitimately flipping me off. It still happened in Enfield. That was so prominent. So prominent to where I felt like I had to call my dad and say, "Hey," mind you, prefacing it, fully aware of how this is gonna sound. This is what I think people are saying about me. This is why. This is why. Like, I had receipts for my receipts for my receipts, and I would say it in a very calm manner, and it's like, again, that you need to get help. I really hope you get the help that you need, and it's like, okay, that's for me, it's like where God comes in too, where it's like, stay calm. Obviously, anybody hearing that when you're literally pleading for help, you're desperately trying to express what you see is going on around you and why it's making you feel unsafe, right? I get Lily Tino's really uh I just laughing at myself because I said unsafe. Not to sound like dramatic, but it's like legitimately unsafe.
I felt like
And
I was going to be killed. So I get it.
right. Yeah, and it's like so it's like for us, that's why I love that we're talking about it just because there's so many other people that we know feel that way right now. And even though they want us to literally feel that way right now and we don't, there's still people that are like in the beginning stages of waking up, discovering why they're being targeted, discovering why is this happening to me? And you're right, just people in the future like seeing our videos now. That's something Alex talks about all the time too, is like somebody that's really going through it, they're going to see our videos. So it's like, shit, dude.
Go out and go potty. Sorry, the cat has peed on my floor 3 times. And he peed all
No.
over my sacred wounding stick earlier. I had to throw it away that Ashley made and
Oh
gave to me. And I'm
no.
heartbroken. So I had to kick him out. Sorry.
Oh.
Because he ain't going to come pee on one more deck of cards or he's going to get his ass beat.
Yeah, oh no.
Out.
What was I gonna say?
You better not pee in here. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry, dude. Can I go feed this cat? Because he's going to keep distracting me. I'll be
Oh,
right
dude,
back. One
yeah.
second.
Okay.
Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Okay, bye. I'll be
Oh
right
my
back.
god, dude.
Yeah. Oh, wait, let's get the chocolate. So you can do something real quick.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. There's 20 people in here, I know. How many do you think it's people are waiting? Are they gonna talk about me? I'm just kidding. What do you think? What do you think of a Christian like Kanye West?
Next.
Oh, I have the questions.
Yeah. Car pulled in. Oh my gosh, sorry, dude. He really did go in the litter box and go pee. So I'm so glad I brought him out there. And then I had to go
Oh,
pee.
oh no.
Um, oh, I just thought of something in the bathroom. Did anybody ever mention the term gang stalking to you when you were going through your shit?
No, I didn't see that until TikTok.
So
I didn't
did you
I
just get
didn't
on
hear
TikTok
that.
and it came in your algorithm or what happened?
I'm trying to think of who was like the first person that I saw, like where it was gang stalking. And it was a video, I think that was like, no, no, not like, it was kind of like describing the neighborhood watch. And at that point, that's when I was in Enfield, like in a legit Masonic Eastern Star neighborhood. So I'm like, okay. Like I remember I just started randomly seeing tarot readings when I was still like at my sister's. And it was like basically like confirming a lot of dreams that I had. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember my sister was saying something. She's like saying something like, oh, like making it sound like like I would see a video and then like accuse my mind.
God, my kid's being so loud. I'm so distracted right now. So you
Oh,
started
no, no,
getting
no. No.
signs, like God started showing you things.
Yeah, and just stuff on the radio, like it, and that's honestly gonna make me sound like total, they love that, like just a total Looney Tune. But like,
It's
I
true.
saw Ashley, and I was watching a little bit of the episode of Ashley and sorry, Miss Jackson,
Bethany?
Bethany, thank you, and okay, so they said something where they validated something that was like for me, like I would be driving in the car and it's like basically for me it was like letting me know that I was in flow. But it was like when I would think of stuff, the radio would finish my thoughts. Or if I would be saying something out loud, the radio would finish my sentence. And I'd be like, "What?" That started happening all the time where stuff that like I was thinking about, the radio would just like say it. And I heard Ashley and Bethany talking about that and I was like, "Oh my god, dude." Like that was like so that started happening like a little bit before like the tarot reading thing. You know what I mean? So like,
You're fucking gifted.
well, like other stuff already started happening. So like when I saw the tarot things that were confirming dreams, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm repeating what I'm seeing online. I feel like this is like confirming what I said and saw. But then
That's
like that stuff
wild.
like
I've never heard of that before. That is some connection. Wow.
dude, it was happening all the time where I was like laughing to myself in my car driving, but like when I ever heard them say that, I was like, "Okay, thank God," because obviously now, like, I feel like there were times where I was way more tapped in, how we always talk, like, and stuff like that, but it's, like, kinda like stages. Like, some days I'm like, "I gotta get these messages out." Other days, I'm like a potato
Yeah.
in the noodle,
I
right?
was a
Like
fucking wreck. But when I look back on videos I made, my higher self was speaking. I posted on Facebook, it was like in October, and I posted, I am the chosen one, blah, 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 blah. Don't remember doing it at all. And it came up on a memory, and I was like, holy fucking shit. It's like my soul was telling those motherfucking people that they weren't going to beat me, right? I didn't even remember posting it. And then, like, the first time I ever heard the word chosen one, and like when I first started healing or whatever, I'm like, not me. I'm just a junkie, like, not me. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
months prior, I was posting that. It's
Wow.
crazy. Or I was talking in a live video, just like bawling about how cycles repeat until you learn the lesson.
Yeah.
And like when I'm like this bawling mess, I don't even realize how fucking right I was. It's like my higher self was talking. And I look back on that today and it's like, holy shit, I knew. I knew why I was going through this. I knew I was going to get through it, which is the whole reason I never quit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just kind of cool to look back and see. I had two people mention the word gang stalking to me. Two of them. One was my
Okay.
ex-boyfriend, and like he was telling me
Ooh.
that's what was happening to me, who was actively involved in it. Motherfucker.
Yeah, at least he threw you a bone.
And he told me to look it up on TikTok. Demonic gang stalking. So I did, and I come across this girl, Jamie Tall. But anyway, um, and then another guy, his name was Derek, who was actively involved in it. And he was trying to tell me he was going through it too. And it's like, whatever. That's why you're
No.
sitting in the seat next to me playing with your knives, making me think you're gonna go crazy on me, just they were
Yeah.
always doing all these things to put me in fear. Fear, 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 fear. But he mentioned it to me, and he's the one that told me they want you to do it to yourself, because I'm like, well, are they gonna kill me? And he's like, no, they want you to do it to yourself. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And then he was
Yeah,
telling
so
me to leave. I'm like, I'm not leaving my kids. He's like, you have to. You have to leave your. That's when I knew he was in on it, when he was trying to get me to abandon
yeah.
my kids. Fuck you. And then
Yeah,
that's the
what?
same night I went home, and that's the night my father-in-law told me to go take my life already. It was that very fucking night.
Dude,
And it
it's
was like ding, 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 ding. Y'all told
so
on
it
yourselves.
so it is a human experiment,
Yeah.
right? To see it's just wild.
Honestly, dude, they'd have done it. There's no way they could go through what we went through and live. We really are different.
Yeah.
We really are supernaturally strong, just spiritually alone.
Well,
In the
and
worst
too,
days of our lives, they couldn't make us take ourselves out of here.
and it's like they designed the humiliation ritual and dude, people like it takes a lot for me to be embarrassed, right? And there's still
Right.
a lot that I have to say, with like just how I basically added to all these ridiculous, like just ridiculous narratives, dude. Like the fucking the chronic masturbate, like all that stuff. Like I made inappropriate, stupid jokes that I never had to say. And I think that's why I'm so grateful, like, I'm just so grateful, like, for anybody that is thinking that they could never be in a position where you don't care what anybody thinks, you can. And they wanted me to be so Taylor, I would go places, like, just coming from, you know what I'm saying? Like, legit, like, the ghetto, and it's like there are areas that are not very nice or kind or pleasing to the eye, and people will fucking make fun of you legit to your face. They will like the way that I was just like mocked and laughed at and like tortured. Tortured is the best word. We were all tortured, right? By
Mhm.
design.
Period.
But that's what I honestly can never like we can't take like if I had to do this again, I would because I don't care what anybody literally thinks. And like just I think there's something really to be said about that is when you're put in the most embarrassing, vulnerable position designed to in hopes that you kill yourself. You know what I mean? And like you said, it's like you just feed off of that. You feed off of everybody's expectation for you to crumble. And you take all those crumbles and you make your own fucking stool and you're like, fuck you guys. And you know what I mean? Like you're doing it and it's just like for me, there's so much stuff that I said that contributed to what other people continuously made up. And I was like, that was my own fault. But it's like people pushed out of the way that like I was a comedian. You know what I mean? Like if you watch anybody's, there's stand-ups that I watch that are just way. I appreciate the fucked up jokes because it validates my stupid ass jokes.
Right.
But then people literally tried to get me locked up in prison because they made up that I like I'm into younger people or you know what I mean? Like I masturbate in public. It's like, no. Like I just made stupid jokes that I was masturbating too much in the privacy of my own home. Okay? It's just like when you just like you'll just call yourself out. Like I don't need anybody to create a smear campaign. I'm always making fun of myself. I'm always calling myself out, but it's like that also got me to like get away from all of that, you know? Like all these surface level things, like, I was riddled with parasites, you know what I mean? Like, why was I watching corn? Like, this was, like, in 2019, 2020, but, like and then I just kinda once you start to heal, you talk about it, and for me, I joke about it, and it's like people literally took what I said and fucking ran with it, Taylor. They took what I said and they tied it to a fucking bazooka and shot it off to whatever the fuck they wanted to make up.
Yeah, I can imagine they did the same shit with me too.
So it's just like
Nobody ever
I think
told me what was being said about me. I didn't figure it out until later.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
it takes a
know, dude.
while.
Apparently I cheated first. I was the cheater.
Oh,
Apparently, like I was crazy obsessed with my kid's dad, and that's why he was leaving me. And then, of course, the bad mom narrative. I mean, I was
yeah.
promiscuous. I was fucking people from all. I mean, never have. I would own it if I did. I have never slept with anybody for drugs or money. Never in my life.
I think they said the same thing about me too, like sleeping with people for drugs. It's like, "Bitch, you're telling on yourself. How about that?
Yeah, I've
How about
always had a
that?"
job, always had money or found money because I'm very. It's just crazy the shit that they said about me and that people believe I was lazy. They said I was lazy when I'm the hardest fucking worker ever, dude.
Yeah,
Lazy, a mooch, just all this
yeah.
crazy nonsense. And then
But
like
people
the
have
just
to bel
abuser to my kids was off the walls. Why didn't anybody do anything?
right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. If that was true and people really gave a fuck about doing something, they would have done
I
something,
mean, they called CPS 4 different times, but they never took my kids.
right?
I
Which
don't even know. I'm sure there's way more that was being said too, but yeah, I was the cheater. I cheated. I left. But of course, they framed it and made it look that way. Because, like I said, I was running around with my
right,
ex boyfriend for a minute or whatever. But by that point, my kid's dad had already left me. I caught him talking to a pregnant girl. He changed the password on his phone, wouldn't quit talking to her. I'm assuming this baby's his forever. It took me forever to find out that that is not his kid. But any fucking way. And he left all summer. He left me, just left us. So what am I supposed to do? But no, they didn't let the world know that. My kid's dad, no. Not then, now I do. And I don't think he's being paid at all. They did so much work, spiritual work on us cuz he would never abandon me, he'd never abandon his kids. But every person in his life is a plant. To the group of friends he runs with, to this other girl they tried to get him like attached to. And
right.
so his friends were
Oh
inviting him
my
to drink
god.
after work. That's how home life started falling apart. He just quit coming home. He was always drinking with his friends and just quit caring about us.
Right.
After I worked so
Yeah.
fucking hard, it just, I felt abandoned, dude. It fucked me up. That's why I ended up relapsing. But anyway, and it took him months to realize that I was doing dope again. He didn't even notice. That's how gone he was. But he was just being influenced by those fucking people. They were taking him to strip clubs, out of town. Like he was just running rampant with these piece of shit friends of his. They were paid to pull him that way. And then, keeping him low vibrational is when they started doing all that spiritual work. And he just turned into the devil himself, dude. Evil. Super sexual. I mean, he's out having threesomes, orgies, fucking all kinds of. They're making me watch it. They're putting it in the house, making it look like it's going on in there. I mean, he just a demon by that point. It was rough. And I could not reason with him. And I
Yeah.
felt the energy coming off of him like he wanted me dead, dude. And I would be crying, like, why do you want me dead?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? And he would just stare away from me. He wouldn't look at me, answer me. And he just would never. I knew something was going on. I knew it. I told him that
Well,
multiple
and a
times.
definite definite attach yo, this fly, bro. We got to op in the chat. Ah! We okay. So it's definitely like demonic attachment
Oh
for
yeah.
sure. That's I think what was making you feel so like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
And people and it sucks because people like, you know what I mean? They don't even know that they're being it's like the demon's gonna gaslight you.
I thought he
And in
was in on it when
reality,
it was
like,
all
and I
going
get
on.
how
100% thought he was in on it.
yeah,
They created the illusion like he wants you gone. He's going to give the kids to his mom and he's going to have this happy new family with this girl. That's what they had me believing. His actions, his
yeah,
behavior, all of it aligned with the entire illusion. It was fucked. Fucked.
yeah,
Fucked. It was fucked. But we ended up
ew,
like going no contact because he finally got arrested for DV after 11 fucking phone calls to the police. They finally did something. And anyways, though, went no contact for almost 4 months, and then I got the no contact order dropped because I started to find out the truth. I started missing him,
yeah,
all the things, and when he came back around, he was normal, fucking normal. He wouldn't let me leave with the kids. I begged him, just let me get out of here. Let me take the kids. Let me go. And he's like, the kids can stay. You can go. But the kids are staying here. And it's like, why? So your parents can raise them? You know, what the fuck? And he had no problem with us leaving and getting because he knew the truth. You know, he woke up. It's like when we went no contact, all that
yeah,
spell work broke. It lifted. He didn't want to believe it, but he knew it. And that's why he let me leave.
yeah,
Let me come here. And now he's
that's beautiful.
entangled in his own fucking nightmare of a mess over there. So bad to the point he
Yeah,
will not tell me anything that's going on. Can't even
hmm,
face me because he didn't listen to me. I tried to tell him, but I know he
right.
knows the truth. So,
Mm,
but yeah,
that's crazy.
they came for both of us. They were gonna sacrifice us both, dude. It wasn't just a me
Yeah,
thing. It's
what?
his money they were stealing. You know what I mean? It's his shit. They
Right.
just I think they were hoping he would kill me. Because it was bad, dude.
Yeah.
Bad. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Well, then that would make sense too if they were to set it up to where he were to take. Do you see this fly?
That happened to me. I was doing a reading for somebody, and this fly would not leave me alone, dude.
Bro, what the
And
fuck?
I was getting fucking pissed. I ended up killing it like 25 minutes later, but I couldn't do the reading because it just kept. It's like intentionally trying to
Bro,
distract me.
that's a yeah. Holy monitoring. Um, what okay, what was I was gonna ask you something else too in regards to that. I can't remember.
Well, I'll tell you, they just needed to distract him. They needed him distracted so that they wouldn't know what was going on with me. Right?
Okay.
So he's just so distracted under all this spell work, fucking drunk all the time, just doing all of this.
Yeah.
He's not like that, dude. His nickname is McLovin, like super bad McLovin.
Uh,
That he's
yeah.
like he's not no fucking whatever they had him doing. He's not like that. He's funny, he's goofy, and he loves his family. He fucking
Yeah.
loves his family, loves his kid, loves me. Like he's not like that. So it was just bizarre. Just it was disturbing to see what he was they had him into and it's
Yeah.
just anyways, where was I going with that? But they just needed him distracted. So of course everybody's feeding him bullshit about how I'm crazy, I'm cheating. You know, like pretty much
Right.
giving him the green light to go do what he's doing because I'm the piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's
Yeah.
like they had him really
Yeah.
convinced I'm crazy. All these holograms in the house. I'm accusing him of being in the house when he's at work. You know, I'm like, no, you're fucking this girl. I see it. I saw you guys. You know, and he's like, you're fucking crazy. And they just really turned us against each other. I thought he was in on it the whole time, but now I know he wasn't. And the way they even had my own
Uh,
kids involved in shit,
yeah.
you know? But they were all innocent in it. It gives me anxiety talking about it. I hate putting his shit out
It's
there
a
like that, but ain't the first time. Been talking about it from the beginning.
right. I mean, they're major pieces, you know what I mean? You gotta get that out because it's eventually this literally all has to come out
Yeah.
in whatever way, you know,
Shit
whatever
was
I was gonna say
fucked
whatever
up,
fucking
dude. It
weird
was
way.
so meticulously planned. I wanted another baby. That's how good we were doing, right? We were doing so good. My first two
Yeah,
kids, I just wasn't ready. You know, I really let my kids down. My addiction battles, all the things. So, like, at this point, we have this beautiful home. We have great jobs. We have nice vehicles, food in the fridge, money in the bank, happy
yeah,
family. And it's like, I really wanted another baby. So I remember telling my mother in law that, and she looked at me like, no. And I was like, what? I was so confused. Like, what? Why not? You know? And
yeah,
anyways, it was right in front of my face. I'm telling you, it was always there. But so when I caught him talking to this pregnant girl, pregnant, like about to have a baby, right? Best friends
yeah,
on Snapchat, what would you think? He hadn't
yeah.
been coming
Oh.
home. He'd been partying, not coming home. What would you think? What would you think?
You already know what I would have thought.
And then to change his password and not quit talking to her, what would you think?
I know that my tone would turn
You would think
very
it was his
south.
baby, right?
Uh,
Exactly. So meticulously planned down to the girl they selected to play the fucking part. They knew I wanted another baby, and it was like a slap in the face. Oh, I don't want one with you because I'm going to go have one with this girl. And then I don't want you or the kids either. But you can't take the kids. My parents get the kids, and we just want you to die. That's what it
Literally,
was. And
yeah.
it
And
hurt the fuck out of me, dude. He told me over and over it wasn't his. It
I,
wasn't his. It wasn't his. I didn't believe him. Obviously, for obvious reasons, it's not his. Not his baby.
but that's crazy that as soon as you were like, picture you going up to your mother-in-law and telling her that, it's like the conversation ending. She immediately like, yeah, we need to get, yeah,
The day that I went through his phone, I called her and told her, like, oh my God, he had this baby. And she didn't sound surprised at all. That's when like the betrayal started to really hit me. Like, you knew. So I thought she knew it. She knew it was his and all of this stuff. But yeah, it really wasn't, dude. And that's how spelled out that he was. They
oh,
had him under mind control. I believe it. I stand on it. He was
wow.
just under mind control.
I think there's a lot more people that are actually under that, like he was, that have no idea. And I think some people even are ones that will be like the first ones to make fun of us type of thing. And it's like, no, people don't realize like what else is really going on here, you know?
He would turn like a robot. I remember one day I was talking, begging him to let me leave. And it was towards the end of everything, right before he went to jail. But I saw him like get really teary eyed. And I'm like, do you have
Yeah.
tears in your eyes? And he shut off, like, snap, shut off,
Hmm.
demonic, abusive, started like throwing shit at me, just going off. But it's like I had him, and then poof, he was gone, dude.
Yeah.
And this man, we got together when I was 15. And he loved
I
me
was
through
gonna
my
say.
addiction. I married somebody else out of spite, literally married a stranger because I was so unhealed and wasn't receiving love from him in the way that I wanted. He took me back after that. Then I got with my ex-boyfriend for a couple of years on drugs, strung out. I mean, he had my kid's dad had my kids won in a custody battle, everything. And then my ex-boyfriend broke my heart, stomped on it, just shattered me completely. And my kid's dad literally held me while I cried over another man and gave me 50-50 custody of my kids while I was still in an active addiction. He has loved me through
Wow.
the darkest days of my life, tolerated so much fucking bullshit from me. He should have left a long time ago, but he loved me.
Yeah.
So when he was
Yeah.
like that, it just made no sense. I was so confused. Like, he would never do this to me. And even
Right.
when he started to like not come home and shit, it's like, okay, I'm not on drugs. I'm working, I'm paying the bills, I'm doing all of these things. Like, he doesn't want to be around me. And I was unhealed still. So then that's when I resorted back to old ways because I felt so abandoned.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
which is, and that's crazy too. But people will, it's just wild that people, I'm glad you said that because it's making me feel like I have to say, like, people will just arrange things. Like, isn't it wild how comfortable people are, like, just arranging, like, literally being like a puppet master in your life, but like with the intentions that you do feel that way. Like, what?
yeah,
Like this is what people find like entertainment or whatever because that's crazy like what you just putting more for me. You know what I mean? Because you never told me that part
yeah.
about kid's dad. So like it's
We've
just
been through so much, dude. We've been overcome so much together. I know we'll overcome this too. I ain't even tripping. I just know.
yeah. Do you think would that be like a end goal for you would be like the four of you guys to be in
Mhm.
Texas together? I should have asked before I just
Oh,
asked that
it's
out loud. I'm
fine.
sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's God's plan. But I mean,
Um,
I don't hold on to no attachment to no outcomes or anything like that. But um,
right.
yeah, we had to close that cycle. It's not the first time they split us up. We were the
Yeah.
cycle. Anytime we had our home stability, it got dismantled. The house got ruined, shit got broken, somebody cheated, I'd relapse. Cycle. Only he wasn't
Yeah.
always the one that would cheat. I used to. I've cheated before. I've been
Okay.
doing dumb shit before too. But how many fucking rituals and practitioners has my mother in law been paying from day one?
Right.
You know what I mean? Over and over
Yeah.
and over again. And when this last time we had a really good talk before I left and came here, and he told me that because I was begging him to come home, right? In the whole little chaser energy. And he's like, it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And he was
Yeah.
terrified, dude. He didn't trust himself at all. He did not trust himself to come home, or he probably would have. And then what do you know? This other girl ends up pregnant again. After our no contact order dropped, after when we were sleeping together too during that time before I came here. So it's like
Yeah.
they knew and they needed to fucking get in there, wedge something in there. Next thing you know, she's pregnant again, and that one's really his. And sure as shit, he's paying child support for this kid, and I do not think it's his baby. I did, but I don't now. I really don't.
It's dude.
I don't think it is, but it could be. But I know them. I know what they're doing. I've
And that's
channeled it
that's
in the
what's
readings
yeah,
that it's not.
dude. And that's what's tough too is like I just I've been seeing a lot more stories like that. Made it sound like her father doesn't pay child support like whatever. And I put it together that it's because it's not his child. She was telling me that she was cheating on him, like, around the same time where she got pregnant. This was her, like, telling on herself, saying, like, oh, she was having an affair with somebody, and then she got pregnant and, like, wasn't really sure, but married you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? However the story went, and I was just like, yes, it's and it's even funnier looking back, like, thinking that, like, obviously the apartment that was totally surveillanced. There was one night where I was in the kitchen and her son's picture was on the fridge, and I had just met her son's father because he came to like move furniture or whatever for her, something like that. And I remember looking at the picture and I literally just said, I'm like, that's not his kid. It was just like a download. I was like, that's not his kid. And I said it out loud and I just was like, whatever. And I went upstairs to my room and it felt like somebody heard and saw me say that. And like it's funny the things that I would let out and things like the timing of things of when chaos would unfold. Like if I let out truth on TikTok or and you know what I mean, something would happen. It's like that, like you said, like they're constantly trying to put fear in
Mhm.
you. So like as a way for me to like keep quiet or whatever. And it's like, no. But that was like a really sorry, I just kind of went around the world, but it's just I don't know. It's just there's too much playing. It's the gaslighting people into thinking that kids are theirs when they're not. I just saw a video of somebody who found out that their child is
Wow.
that your kid isn't yours, but it's your brother's. Like it's the people closest to you that gonna fucking stab
Yeah.
you. Right. You know what I mean? And that's like that's like where I'm not getting it either. That's like where I really feel like we're mixing. I guess that's the heaven and hell concept, you know? All these low vibrational things mixed with the high vibrational stuff that we don't get. We would never treat people like that. You know what I mean? I would never go around to my sister's friends and be like, I think Emily has,
Right.
you know what I mean?
You'd probably
Or
go to
when I
Emily.
knew, or when I knew that her fiance at the time, but when I knew she was being cheated on and I'm trying to tell her that, you know what I mean? In private. Imagine me telling all my friends. Like, and I think I actually did get to that point because of how badly I was being framed. And I'm like, no, like I was desperately trying to tell people, no, this is what I feel like is going on. Like when my sister had to go to the hospital for something, she had this is when I was living with her. She had something was going on with her breathing. She wanted to go to the hospital, get some tests done. My brother-in-law comes up to me in this like panic state and was like, you got to tell Emily she can't go to the hospital. And I think I even said this on here, and I was like, "What the fuck do you mean I have to tell Emily she can't go to the hospital?" And he's like, "So let's all pause. Why would my brother-in-law not want my sister to go to the hospital to get tests done if she feels like something's wrong?" I'm like, "Is she gonna find out she has a fucking STD? Is that why you don't want her to go? What's going on
Right.
here?" I didn't say that because I had a friend from Maine come down and visit me, but I do have a witness to him freaking out for no reason. "You gotta tell her she can't go to the hospital." I was like, "Brian, it's Emily. She's gonna do what the fuck she wants to do anyway." You know what I mean? For entertainment purposes only. I realized I just said their names. But I'm like, "Why is that?" So then I'm like trying to tell Emily, I'm like, "Dude, like some."
Did she go? And
Oh
what was
yeah,
wrong?
yeah. She she didn't come out of her room for like a day or two. She tried to tell me that me vaping in my room caused her to have something was wrong with her lung. She had a blood clot on her lung,
Oh, and it was your
and
fault.
she basically said that and it was yeah, it was when she said, like, tried to preface it like the secondhand jewel smoke is giving you a blood clot on your lung. I was like, "I know you're fucking lying. I know." So, like, I was like, "Dude." And mind you, this was I believe this was post Crazy Hospital when I already was very vocal about what I was dreaming and the suspicions that I had. So, like, that point on, I was like, "Okay, I can't say shit. I'm not gonna say shit." I regret ever. I was like, "Guys," it's literally like I said, like I told people about my dreams, but it's like I literally prefaced it for entertainment purposes only.
I have a
Because I
question.
did. I literally what?
Do you think he wanted you to tell her that she can't go to the hospital so they could try and make it look like you poisoned her too?
Oh my god, dude. Probably. Wow.
Like just a narrative just to make it look. Like, you were the one that didn't want her to go, not him?
I never thought about that
Me
because
either,
I
till
said
right now,
that.
it just hit
Remember?
me.
Maybe it wasn't my roommate. Maybe it was Emily that said that, that tried to say that.
It was probably both, right? It was probably both of them. I wouldn't be surprised. It was probably both.
So now I, so now I'm just a
Poison her,
serial.
or like you did something to
Oh,
her. You know, like, if think about it. If he wanted you to go tell her not to go, there was an agenda behind that. Clearly, they were
yeah.
already
But he,
targeting you.
and
You already went to the crazy hospital. So it's not, it was already going on. So it was to paint a narrative.
yeah,
Probably.
probably. It was just the way it was like the actual panic. I didn't take it for him to be much of like an actor because even when he thought he was being covert, this is my brother-in-law, I would literally, like, just see his intentions. That's what's the weirdest part about waking up is you're processing people's intentions that you're feeling, and you're seeing them smile with their eyes, and for anybody to not misconstrue, this is all, like, mind's eye, but it's, like, also you're feeling it, you know what I'm saying? And, like, for me, I really did think in that moment, like, my download was that he totally has HIV from sleep entertainment purposes only, allegedly, and he gave my sister an
Good
STD,
possibility.
and I think that's why and I just kinda felt like that's why she never really cared, like, because I was like, "How" like, Emily was the one that hurt the most in the sense that I was like, "Dude, you don't wanna see me win?" I would've brought everybody up. I would you know what I mean? Like, there was a time that I borrowed money from Emily, and I said, "If you let me pay you back when I want to, I'll pay you double," and I don't think she believed me. And then, like, that's also, I think, why they wanted to take that inheritance from my papa because I was gonna give the majority of it to Emily anyways, because she was getting married. Like, there was so many things that were happening, and I knew the whole crazy hospital thing, that was just a ploy to take that all away from me. What like, I knew that. To so I could just seem like they wanted me to look inadequate on paper, pretty much. And I
Right.
think that's why, like I said, like, why I lived with my dad and stepmom. Insisted I moved in. I insisted I moved in. "Oh, you can't live here without the COVID shot." Get both COVID shots, stepmom kicks me out. That was for her to say whatever she wanted to her friends. Because then I noticed her best friend, right? Just real quick, just the circle of this. My ex-husband's cousin was a friend of mine from high school, right? So I lost friends from over 10 years, and his aunt, my so his cousins were all looking at my shit, my TikTok, and I went to high school with them. Like, we hung out a few times when we were little kids, like, we all know who we are, and I'm seeing all these people look at my TikToks as all this is going on, so I know my stepmom's fucking lying out
Running
of
her
her
mouth.
ass. Why the fuck would these people what yes, why would these like, you I knew she was just going crazy with the false narratives to cover up what they did, to cover up what they literally stole, and then had no problem making me look like this freak, and 2021 was the last Christmas I spent with anybody, and this is when I still right before I
Ditto.
moved out of Enfield.
2021.
Yeah, 2021? Well, so I noticed the way certain family members were, like, looking at me, and then when I actually sat down and talked to them, dude, it's just like the gang not saying that they were gang stalkers, I'm saying it was like the gang stalkers in the sense that I got to see their perception of me change. I got to witness in real time them realizing, contemplating to themselves, "I think somebody lied," because 'cause they're looking at me like nothing's making any you know what I mean? Like, I'm recognizing that they're seeing my light, but it's like somebody pissed on their shoe. Like, they're like, "I don't understand what's happening."
Right.
And I think that's because also too, like, my ex-roommate who she reached out to, like, that was something she vocalized doing to her exes, sabotaging them to their family behind their back to ruin their life, whatever. And I think she did that to people in my family that had, like, younger kids, like, just totally correlated the pedo, the masturbating, making it seem like I'm into, like, teenagers, like, she tried to present to my stepmom, I think, that I was literally sexually attracted to my little sister, and I'm like, "You need fucking help, dude. Like, you need
Right.
help."
Speak it.
Everything that anybody's manipulating, putting together, it's their mind. That being that so that's what I was saying, sorry, was this one family member, she had a daughter that's a little bit younger than my sister. So it was like when I was talking to her, I just felt like that awkward, like she was a little standoffish, little like didn't know what to think. And then I literally was just telling her about like I just became gluten free. I had just I was on a Vyvanse prescription, like random things that were going on in my life that I was just talking about. And she was like, I just felt her become more at peace, you know? And it's like whatever these people have no problem misconstruing and lying to everybody. Even like your son's parents, your child's father's parents, like they don't care lying to their own child,
No.
you know? Like my parents don't care lying to me. They don't care that I look like it's like they want to paint me out to look like this crazy Looney Tune like my mom and it's like no guys, you made these narratives. You did all these weird fucking rituals and all these weird things to make my mom react that way. I see that now.
I believe it.
Shit about my mom when she was drunk and whatever, and it's like, "Taylor, that you really do get what you give," and it's like, I never talked shit about my mom to put her as a person down. I talked shit about her drunken ways to almost boost me and other people up who went through that, because it wasn't for nothing, but it's in the sense that it makes you a stronger fucking person. But I did say inappropriate about my mom, and I think that I just understand, and I think that I deserve to live through some of the things that I have after what I stupid ass shit that I would say, like, growing up, um, I'm just gonna come out with this too because 'cause I've made videos about it, but I've gotten banned so many times, but, you know, when you grow up and you grow up without parental supervision and you're watching things like South Park and Dave Chappelle. And like for me, like growing up alone, like just saying words that sound funny, like the N word, and like where I'm from, it's like everybody, you had to get a pass to say that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, it's like white was the minority. You know what I mean? So it's like you just got a pass to say that. It was just very different back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying a
Yeah.
hard R. I'm saying, but like
I get you.
so basically, there was so when my Snapchat was hacked and all that, like I was always fucked up and I would always just say stupid stuff. Like I would always sing the N word in songs. I would always have YouTube playing in my house. So basically, like I put myself in a really stupid position by acting like a complete idiot. And I said that like I did deserve to be poisoned for the dumb shit that would always come out of my mouth because I was a little kid raising myself and then I brought that into my adult life. And I still taught not in front of people, it was always non-derogatory, but I would say a lot of stupid stuff, whether it was like the F word, you know, fagat, or like whatever. And I would say all these stupid ass things because I was always, like, stoned and just, like, making stupid Snapchats to send to, like, the closest people to
Mhm.
me, and I would just save everything, and it's just after this whole experience, like, it really makes you realize what's important, what's real, what's not, and I think thank you for letting me get this out because I've been wanting to make videos, but, like, just whatever people think that they're gonna come out with and try to say that you're this and you're that, and it's like, no, like, you can always come out with the mistakes that you fucking made. You know what I mean? Like, and there's so many people also that have know what it's like to be from certain places where everybody's saying the N word. And then it's like in school, you get the pass to say it, whatever. So like basically I just remember working this job and like saying it And this guy that I worked with was black. He was my friend, but he was like, "Did you really just say that?" And I was like, "I can't say that." And he was like, "Well, I guess you can because you just said that." And I was like, "Well, I was like, "Oh my god, dude, like, I'm so sorry, like, I'm used to explain the pass thing, like, where you get a pass." And he made a joke like, girl, that pass is expired." And I was like, "Oh my god," like, it was some you know what I mean? Like, you don't know these things until you know these things.
Right.
And it's just for me, I just wanted to call myself out for, coming off ignorant to people. They showed people to get to harm me. And it's like, no, I'm coming out and saying I was an idiot. I was such an idiot that I don't think I deserved this experience, but I take this experience and I'm really growing from it, dude.
Yes,
Like
you are.
it's I'm just like I'm so I just never thought that I would say like I'm grateful for like such a shitty experience. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
I get you.
Even like even just like walking like when that's the other thing too is like when bad things happen, maybe they're not happening to put you in a bad place.
They're
Like the
happening for you,
generator
not to
breaking.
you.
Yeah, like I just so grateful that I get to go to the gym more and more and it's because we have to charge our stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, fuck yeah, like I get to go to the gym. I have 2 fucking legs. I get to walk to the gym. It doesn't suck like I don't
It's
know.
like you didn't deserve to go through the fucked up shit, but what you did deserve was the growth that you're getting from it. That's one thing that you do deserve. You
That
deserve
was
to find yourself,
yeah.
to realize that you're not darkness, like you're not the projections, you're not the fears that have been placed on you your whole life, dude. It's nothing new. This has been going
Yeah.
on your whole life. And because of what you've seen and what you've experienced, you got to realize and recognize that you are not that. You're not like these people, any of them, communities
Right.
of people. You're not like any of them. You deserve to heal. You deserve to
Right.
find Ashley and actually live it and be it. You deserve that.
You too. Dude. Oh, I was gonna hold on, I'm gonna get this
Yeah.
real quick. Dude, I kind of want to read this out loud for people too. Okay. Hold on. We could do our
Yes,
Shelby
I love
shout
it.
out. But dude, like,
Yeah.
should I read the page?
Please do.
Right? The dedication?
Yeah.
Okay. Because guys, our family for other people to get away with a paycheck. And it doesn't matter how many people don't like you or think that you're whatever, because somebody is going to see you for who or any experience, you should share it. And our friend Shelby, once again, that's experiencing. You should check out this book. It's called the Ultimate Dice Ultimate Betrayal. It's on Amazon. But
I'll link it in
for
the
Tay
description.
Lynch,
I'll link the book in the description if anybody wants it. Okay, go ahead.
okay, yeah. For Tay Lynch, thank you for
Ash, we're
me.
skipping.
Love
Pause. Let's pause. I'm going to shut off my Wi Fi
oh,
because, of course, it's skipping. 1 second.
sleeping. I can hear.
Okay,
No, I can hear
go
you.
ahead. I'm so sorry. It
Okay.
was being all stupid.
No, no, no. So I'll just read this little paragraph. For Tay Lynch, thank you for always reminding me of the greater purpose. For Jonathan David Toma, sorry. Thank you for always channeling the synchronicity I needed to hear when I needed to hear it. There is no connection to Jonathan in the story. It was too hard to change the name by the time I wrote this page.
For Ash Gaff and Ancient Sage, thank you for always making the side of gangstalking funny, even when it's not. Just because it isn't doesn't mean we don't deserve the opportunity to laugh. Dude, like I was like, what the like that's so awesome. You know what I mean? How many people want to look at like especially obviously people that know, but that are like, she's crazy, this and that. It's like, we're in a fucking book. Fuck what people think.
I say this all the time, Ash. If you were to walk into my town that I come from, that everybody did this shit to me, they would never think that you were anything other than normal. If I were to walk into Enfield, Connecticut, not any of those motherfuckers that did this shit to you would look at me and be like, "Oh, she's schizo, she's mentally ill, she's this, she no." Because we're
Right.
not.
Right.
We're not. If we were to swap locations, nobody would ever know. Nobody here in Texas or in Arizona knows, other than people that are being recruited, but knows us to be anything other than fucking normal, keep to
Right.
themselves, mind their own business type of people.
Yeah.
I talk about
It's
that all
wild.
the time. I like think about that. Like if anybody that I work with was to like go to my town, they would be normal,
Right.
you know?
So it
The
real
only
yeah.
people that say this shit about you are people that were in on shit that have to.
Right. That are gaining from it.
And period, point blank, you are at the point in your journey where everybody knows it's bullshit. People see
Yeah.
you, Ash. You've done too much healing work. People see the
That's
truth.
yeah.
It's big time. You getting out of there was the best thing that you could have ever done. They've been
Yeah.
desperate, desperate as fuck from the point that you guys detached from McKenna.
Yeah.
It's been the ultimate fucking frenzy to try and cover it up.
And
Like
I think
they can't.
yeah.
Oh, I have a client. I gotta go. But they can't paint you crazy anymore. That's why they're painting you as traffickers. They're painting you guys as scammers because they can't frame you crazy no more. It's over. Just like they can't frame me crazy. That's why I'm a gang stalker. What else do they have? So, anyways, I don't want to run out, but I have an 8 o'clock client. She just logged into Zoom. Did I cut you off on the book? Were you done reading? I'm so sorry. All right. I love you, dude. Tell Alex I love him. All right.
Have a good
Bye,
night.
everyone. See you next week.